the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law.
Decide to play that one out.
Yeah, ROIDS are defending in this first round. CSA is attacking. We can see that there is 2 artists on ROIDS side and there is 1 on CSA. Also 1 light Sakalito on CSA side. 2 lights from the ROIDS side. Really more aggressive setup, you could say, by CSA, but they do have those 2 super conquerors.
Yeah, something we'll really have to watch out for here at the beginning of the match is going to be where the light tanks are going at the beginning of the game. Generally, this middle position is offering a lot of opportunities.
This is how the tanks are rolling now. 2 GCs are going mainly toward the cities from the ROIDS, so that means there will be a minor rotation toward the lower side of the map. Light going aggressive for the middle together with STRV, and a lot of 277s from the lower side. So that means they want to play kind of a pincer attack around the middle.
Yeah, this will be important to watch now, how Saka and Papa are brawling out in the middle. Who's actually going to get dropped down? Both of the lights are spotted out and everyone's going to be trying to get shots in on them. You can see shots flying by from all sides at the moment. Saka dropping half of his HP so far. Papa moving forward. He's getting a lot of information right now. Papa is still going on completely on the opposite side of the map that he should be, and in the meantime ROIDS is pushing in with these 277s. You can see here Elian, Jostra and Failware all pushing under the ridge line. They're going for a very aggressive play right now, something we haven't seen so far on Live Oaks, this kind of play around the water in the middle. And then in the meantime, ROIDS moving their 907s on the south, obviously to support their heavies so that they can crossfire across the water.
So we can see these 277s now in this position here, but there is a Super Conqueror. As we already said, this is a really important position that he can hold. And this is the only lifeline for Frole. Suba, will this be a 3rd or 4th STRV to die in this position, man, since yesterday?
Yeah, so we can actually in the same time see that the push is coming out from CSA over this from the city. All their WZs and 907s are going to push onto the 2 Super Conquerors from ROIDS on E2. They're going to be backed up obviously just by a singular STRV, so that's a weak point right now. So ROIDS has got to make some sort of a reaction. They have to pincer on the eastern side of the map, and I think they have to go for the cap. So they need to be really, really decisive and really quick about this. There's a spot out on all of these tanks from CSA. This is crucial.
Yeah, the CSA is not hesitating. They're doing push of their own here, completely going for the ROIDS. ROIDS, they have 2 artists in the hole, so they will be safe for the moment. STRV in the back will also really do a lot of damage on Ondra and the guys pushing from that side. Also, there is a counterattack from ROIDS coming from the 0 line. They're wiping out CSA from that side. If CSA actually doesn't manage to cap, I don't think they can actually win this game by fight, man.
Yeah, CSA dropping a lot of HP here to push out these 2 Super Conquerors. They're well supported by the heavies and the STRV in the back, so that's a lot of HP spent on those 2. And you can see there's over 4,000 HP difference at the moment. And in the meantime, CSA is going to have to continue putting pressure, because right now ROIDS has control over their cap. They've killed their arty, and in the meantime CSA has not got control over the ROIDS cap.
Okay, the light should take care of the arty from the CSA here. I mean, he is already there. There you go. And the counter push from ROIDS is coming now along the lower side of the map, so they're also clearing the ROIDS arty in the same moment. But the STRV is still alive, and he will still be able to do some damage. And still, we have that HP we were talking about.
ROIDS is actually going for a full engagement right now instead of playing for the cap, and they're actually just going to try and finish off the remaining CSA tanks while there's 2 907s from CSA stuck in the south. So there's going to be a huge big brawl around the buildings. This is the complete decider on the game. ROIDS leading on the HP. They're leading on advantage here. They have more tanks in this fight. They should be able to clean up these tanks really quickly.
Yeah, they have a huge advantage here, and as you can, as Niall said also, they even left light out of the cap, and they're pushing together on these mediums to have even that extra HP and firepower. They are throwing in all on this fight, and it's working out.
Yeah, we said this would be a great game, and they have certainly delivered for us. We've seen huge rotations going around the map. It's all playing on information, quick reactions, big brawls here, and it's going in ROIDS' favour at the moment. Just a little bit quicker on those, a little bit better decision. They left their tanks slightly weaker on one side, but pushed on the other, and it was well supported. CSA just sort of getting out-rotated there.
I would say CSA played multiple times better than yesterday on this map, but still it wasn't enough.
Yeah, ROIDS really showed up on that one. You know, like, CSA played well, for sure. Like, they did the right things.
So they had to do it. They had
but
to do
never mind. We're back into the next game now. ROIDS taking the first round on Live Oaks. Some really interesting game that we hadn't really seen the map played like that. So we'll have to see now how CSA is reacting.
Yeah, we've been saying a lot about middle domination and lower map domination. It turns out so far that it's really crucial in these kind of engagements. ROIDS now playing again with 2 arties and 2 lights plus 1 bachat, so that's quite a lot of mobility. And CSA is sticking to that 1 arty, but they now have both Daki and Saka in the lights.
Yeah, again, just to mention it again, that this middle is so important on this map where you have the lights brawling each other for information. We saw Papa actually winning out that brawl a little bit. He got a load of spots off before he went down, so that was really important. So Cameo playing a bit more passive in the bush. Obviously, he wants to survive.
It's an interesting spot from the lower side there. So we have a light spotting from the bush up and one light from the CSA on lower side. This is not the usual spot, so maybe our cameramans can show them in one moment. It's gonna be very interesting to see them both. You can see all this grass is looking like grass, but it's actually more than enough for this light to keep him as a spotter, and he will see the middle when light is trying to relocate if he does that. But strangely enough, ROIDS completely changed the gameplay, and they're not even approaching that like they know it's a booby trap, man.
Yeah, we can see that's actually a new position coming out there from the light. That's something you find out in a training room, because some of these grasses they do and they don't give camo, and how much they give is depending on exactly where it's located. So just obviously going into a training room and testing them all out.
There is like on upper cap, there is one grass, I would call it, not even a bush, and when you sit in it, it acts like it's a, I don't know, Amazon forest. No one sees you.
But we're actually going to see a big engagement here in the south. This is more typical of the games we saw yesterday, so nothing revolutionary here. On either side, it's going to be a little bit of RT trading, some hold downs. We can see all the WZs coming out from CSA. It's a lot of HP on that position, trying to take over the southern here, backed up by the 907, so obviously they still have that as a rotational force. And meanwhile, ROIDS is doing somewhat of the same. They've got, you know, WZs, IS7s, these sorts of tanks backed up by the 907s, again as a rotation, with 2 RTs coming out for ROIDS, though. Coming over the long game, that's going to be obviously more beneficial for them.
Yeah, ROIDS definitely want to work on time because they have double RT compared to one on CSA. On the other hand, time is always helping to CSA because they are the defending team here. Obviously, they cannot keep this many tanks bogged down CSA because they will be locked away. They will then lose lights for nothing, which they must prevent. So they're rotating the 907s to try to create additional crossfire because their judgment call, and it's a good one, is that ROIDS don't have all the forces on the 0 line.
Yeah, and we can see here Walla actually has a spall liner and everything, so his sole purpose right now is to spot for that double artillery and try and gain them some sort of an HP advantage here in the south, while in the meantime, you know, maybe they want to work and gain some control. Like they've got Papa, I think it is, on the B1 position with the light, and they've got Camille as well on the D5 position. Both of these lights can outplay the light from CSA and just gain all of that map control very quickly if they figure out that CSA is stacking all of their tanks on the south right now.
Yeah, Wale is in a moment of the mood, like, bring it on, shoot me more, you know, because every shot on him is actually wasted, and then other guys are not being targeted, and he's equipped for that. On other hand, the double RT of ROIDS are at the moment doing nothing. I've seen no significant gain from it because CSA is very carefully keeping all of their tanks not spotted. Now they're gonna dive in and try to take out Vale really fast, but it looks like ROIDS were ready for that behind the ridge.
This is going to be huge. For it. This is going to be huge. You've got both forces just coincidentally pushing into each other at the same time. ROIDS though has a few more tanks out of the battle, so we're going to see a massive big brawl now from all the ROIDS tanks as they try and group up and push over. If they push over and they kill these 3 WZs, this could actually go very well for them, but they're taking huge damage on the cross.
Oh, they're taking huge damage, but man, double RT shot really massacred these WZs and make them prolonged reloads and crew members dead and so on. So these guys, they will die. We now need to see a counter push by these mediums from CSA. They have a really good timing for it, and I think they will be able actually to overmatch ROIDS here. Look at this mess!
How do you even figure out what's going on in this massive brawl? It's just everybody shooting focus fire, but it seems ROIDS is dropping the HP a lot quicker right now. CSA has come in, they're not on stun or anything, their RT did a good job, and they're able to focus out these last few tanks that are kind of separated now right now from ROIDS. That's very poor
only
timing.
Tony and Shokish are left alive. There is a huge difference in HP already going. You can see it's going for CSA way, man. It's 4,000 and counting. Double RT from ROIDS kicking in a bit, but still, they will have 40 seconds reload. They are throwing everything in, man, like 6 shoe or whatever, but it's not gonna help. It's too late.
This game may look over, but it's actually not quite over yet because you still have the two ROIDS lights on. If they go on the cap and they kill the RT, they actually have a chance because they will be drawing back some CSA tanks. The HP is not huge at the moment for CSA.
Yeah, but they do have 2 RTs alive with ROIDS, and they have very little fighting tanks, so they will be actually able to go back and deal with these lights. I mean, light cavalry, yeah, that's cool, man, but I still think when mediums get them, that's it.
Yeah, if these lights are actually baiting, though, longer in the game, and they manage to keep their Super Conch alive, which is where a lot of their HP is sitting on right now, the Super Conch on 2.4 on the 0 line, if they can keep him alive and keep their remaining 907, I think it's Barry, alive, yeah, if you can keep him under the bridge, supported a bit, but I think it's going to be too late.
I don't think Barry will be supported. I mean, he will be warmly welcomed and hugged by the rest of the CSA guys, and that's about that. But this game is going for the CSA. I think there is no way out of this one, but still, you know, gambles do happen, people win millions, and who knows?
Yep, it's still a Super Conk supported by an STRV with artilleries. There's a lot that can happen there, a lot of very good play between the two. If they don't make, or it's Alpha and the Super Conk, if they don't focus them out very quickly, then it could actually be not so great for them, because CSA is running a little bit low on HP. They still don't have a massive HP advantage. They have the tanks, that's all.
Camille and Papa are on full HP, which is super important, but also Ilian in his STRV is spotted, tracked with that commander. Alpha is also spotted. Artis really cannot have an impact unless they do those direct shots, so losing one tank by one is all that CSA has to focus on. Just go and grind, play a Pac-Man and wipe out the enemy team.
Yeah, this was a nice push here from CSA. They pushed, you know, over the eastern side where the STRV didn't have any angles. He should have relocated onto the 0 line somewhere, and they were able to focus out the Super Conk really, really quickly. So the RTs are only doing 1, maybe 2 shots or something, and that's it. So yeah, that was a huge brawl on the south side of the map. Like we said, that this game was going to be the most exciting, the most fun to watch, and it's been delivered on both tactics, gameplay, brawls, exciting moments, everything you have here.
It's cool, man. Like, I really would like to know, was it coincidental push, as you think, or actually they thought to trick one another, but CSA just had a better rotation and upper hand?
Yeah, I mean, CSA was quite heavily stacked on the south the whole time, so it was quite clear that they did intend to make plays over the south, but at the same time, ROIDS, without a spot, sort of rotated tanks and began a push as well, so maybe they thought that CSA had some 907s too far back.
To me, it kind of looked like some kind of reaction to push on I7.
The score is 2-1 for ROIDS, 1-1 on the first map, ROIDS picking up the first round on the second map, and here we have Sand River round 4.
Now CSA will be defending on Sand River, and we will see what will they come up with. They have 2 artists plus 1 light. Saka is playing light like 90% of the maps lately. And we have Camille and Papa now playing lights in tandem here for the ROIDS. They actually do it usually when it's 2 lights.
Yeah, so we'll have to see now if ROIDS has any special tricks from the south or the west side of this map.
They have 2 Super Conquerors again. Plenty of heavies here, very few mediums.
Yeah, not too many mediums. As the attacker, I guess that's a bit unusual. Maybe they want to go for a slow positional gameplay rather than making a big push somewhere.
Well, to be honest, this doesn't look slow and positional. They are taking really aggressive initial positions toward the middle and upper side, completely neglecting the upper side of the battlefield, leaving only 1 Super Conqueror to cover this light.
So what Papa sees here is going to be really important. See, there's you have the same spot that was gone out in the last game from CSA.
He spotted both,
spotting out the 0 line. He just saw the one. He just saw the 1 medium.
No, both.
No, the second one was not spotted.
Loki and Ducky were spotted. I saw on going on the side. So both of them going up were spotted, except maybe Loki was on lower side of the map. Yeah, I need to check. No, he's up there.
Okay, so information that there's just 1, maybe 2 mediums going east. Meanwhile, ROIDS moving all their heavies down towards the south.
You're right.
With the light
only 1
in
was
front.
spotted on upper side of the map.
Yeah, I didn't want to argue anymore because, you know,
why not,
I think
argument is good.
I think everyone was seeing it that you're just getting a bit, you know, a bit crazy here. Maybe you're too excited from the position we saw in the last game. I was gonna let it slide. I didn't want to make you feel bad.
Okay. Thank you very much. You're so gentle, kind person.
But here we have as well the difference where Daki is going to be peaking against Faili in an arty off. The 907 obviously going to go down a lot quicker than a heavy is going to. As we saw in the previous game, ROIDS using an IS-7 with the spall liner on that position, much more effective.
But one question, if you expect you're going to put a tank where Faili is, why doesn't Faili have spall liner also?
Well, maybe it's I mean, you also react based on the enemy's lineup. What if it's something different?
But you know, in 90% of games, you're going to have to do it with 1 guy there.
Well, maybe, but you can't, I don't know. Is the spot liner that valuable that it's worth him dropping vents, for example, or maybe...
when Artis splashes it, yeah. It really is.
Okay, and we can see all the ROIDS tanks just stacking up, waiting. They're just waiting here for the artilleries to do their work. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes, you know, of dedicated RT time.
That was really fast work on a medium there, man.
Yeah,
that's the difference between I7 and medium.
It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. The 907 is... it's very difficult to play there because there's no way you can't go forward, you can't go back. You just have to sit and take the artillery hits.
And
they do a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage.
But he's not the only one taking a lot of damage. Sigo in backline also took quite a pounding, man. He's on like 1/3 of HP in that heavy.
Yeah, and Faili, you can actually see, is still on half HP, so damage certainly going in ROIDS' favor.
They're taking such a farm from 907s in the side, plus artists, plus the guys from above, man.
Yeah, this is definitely going in ROIDS' favour for the opening damage trades here at the moment. Artie getting a lot of hits in, as well as some of the snipers in the background. And the WZs from ROIDS have actually moved up to K3, so they've much better sniping angles from here, even to just blind shot.
It does look like these guys are bogged down really badly at the moment. Sweetman almost died to a blind fire on Artie shooting the heavies.
Yeah, CSA is actually getting locked in a bit here. They've only got their 2 907s on the north with the light. That's not a huge force, but ROIDS isn't very present in that area, so they can overtake it. But in the meantime, they have a huge amount of guys just stuck behind all these rocks in like J9, J0.
They're a bit locked in a cage here. The VZ, played by Vale, he's gonna approach for a closer view and proxy, and Artie will not be able to do anything about it. They will actually have to counter push him, but he's well covered from several positions.
Well, this is sort of confirming what I mentioned at the beginning, where they want to play a bit more of a positional game. They're, they've knocked out Daki's position, they've lost him that control, and now they're just taking it piece by piece, moving up, moving everyone to snipe behind. Next guy goes in. Well coordinated gameplay so far. CSA is going to have to do something a bit more drastic right now because they're getting pushed out.
Yeah, but counter push in this kind of position doesn't look real for me. But then again, if you think about it, they're like locked in a cage. Ondra on this 430U position, he should be the next target for Artie, but he's being very safe not to allow himself to get spotted.
And you can see actually the 2 ROIDS lights on the north are going to be...
Opala, 1 Artie less.
Ooh, that's really heavy. This early on in the game as well. It's only 4 minutes have passed.
So CSA lost 1 Artie, and it was not the even the Artie that was splashed earlier. Sweetman is still stuck, I think, with heavies.
Yeah, and in the meantime, CSA has only the 2 mediums and the light on the north. They can't quite push out the 2 lights from ROIDS. It's very difficult to catch them. They'll just run away in spot, and they'll rotate 1 or 2 907s to go support them.
Yeah, and with this amount of ROIDS tanks down, they can't even rotate significant force up, and they have only 1 Artie to help them at the moment.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a game of attrition. We're going to see maybe 3 more minutes of clicking by the artilleries to lower the HP. Then we should see a big kind of grouped up push from ROIDS, as they'll have a HP advantage, they'll have a positional advantage, and they can create the crossfire in the situation that they want to exploit. This is really nice stuff on Sound River.
Okay, Sand River was one of the maps I was expecting ROIDS to be able to break through, but they still need to prove it and do it. So far about 2,500 HP advantage, but more important, they have 2 tanks up, one of which being an Artie, no less. On a map like Sand River, Sweetman actually hit the hole there, and he is now far away from his guys, so he doesn't get shot accidentally.
Yeah, Vale should have quite a bit of spotting damage, I think, by the end of this game. He's been peeking here on the ridge the whole time, and he still actually has a lot of HP because the CSA RT is blocked into this corner at very close range, and he can't actually get angles onto any of the crucial ROIDS spotters, and that's really important because the ROIDS RTs are going to be hugely effective at this sort of range. Yeah, and they have a vast number of targets actually they can choose from what to shoot. They don't have to focus on a single point because not all of the guys are spotted all the time and they don't have good shots on them. But here and there you get a spot on Superconk, you get spot on this, on that. Interesting rotation here from CSA up. They put an STRV on upper position on C9 and they have 2 mediums covering their backs. So they're counting on that ROIDS will come from the upper side and they will create some sort of crossfire there. And there is an element to truth in that because ROIDS is very aware, as CSA is probably also, that there's just a huge block of heavies on the south and it's difficult for either team to make any sort of advances there. So you've got to make the plays with your mediums and your heavies like Alpha going into this very aggressive position. If he's supported right now, this would be very good. There's not a lot of HP on these 2 CSA tanks pushing him. He didn't connect that shot, which is really bad. But it's going to be very crucial right now whether or not Alpha goes down, because if he doesn't go down, that's a lot of spotting ability. Alpha will go down, but the question is what will be the price. In this moment, Alpha, I think, kind of went ahead a bit of his tanks, but still, these 2 guys are stuck in this corner, and there will be a huge fight coming on the lower side of the map, because there is finally this push on K-line we were talking about. There is a mass of tanks now gathering there, and they're getting into the crossfire. Yeah, CSA just trying to push out now, I guess, onto a crossfire. This is maybe not going to go so well for them. There's a lot of tanks supporting Vala and Justra, and Shockish here, just a big crossfire. Ow. That's going to be a lot of HP dropped immediately. Will going down, Philo going to follow very closely, and Unji as well if they don't get back immediately. Yeah, this is the problem when other team pretty much outplays you and forces your hand to do something. When you're forced to push, and then you are forced to push in the jaws of a lion, man, because everything is prepared to wait. Oh my god, the HP is just falling off CSA's bar right now. They're down to 5k. ROIDS still sitting very happy on 10k. CSA actually kind of won the north engagement, but it's too little, too late. All their heavies have made a push out here. I really don't think they should have pushed. That seemed very, very reactive, very uncoordinated into the situation that they were in. They because they actually won the north. Their two 907s are alive on the north. There's only one light there from ROIDS. They could have maybe done something on the north to keep some tanks alive and force ROIDS to push into them. It would have been a better position than what they actually left themselves.
But ROIDS didn't push north with many tanks. They actually pushed down in a hole where Alpha died, and they pretty much told them, yeah, you can stay there, we're just going to kill the bulk of your tanks, and we're still going to control the map after that.
So yeah, that was, I mean, we saw it on the first map. ROIDS coming out with a very, very new type of gameplay on the first Live Oaks round. CSA then coming in with a much better brawl on the second one, and then these two Sand River games just outplays on Toxic.
This was actually a really interesting way also how to...
Exactly. And here we go into Himmelsdorf. The teams are finally ready, and we can actually get down to watching this match. So 3-1 at the moment for ROIDS, 1-1 on Live Oaks, and a 2-0 on Sand River. Very decisive on Sand River. And now we get to see one of the oldest, one of the greatest maps in the game, Himmelsdorf, to potentially give ROIDS the lead, or for CSA to make their comeback. We'll have to see how it goes.
Well, interesting part is that CSA chose an attack on this map. They chose to attack first, and the map was the pick of ROIDS themselves. So we see only one Type 5 here from the ROIDS, so nothing of a super heavy setup or whatsoever. Same on CSA side, they have instead of that one E3.
Yeah, so ROIDS with the initial commitment with their 277s and 50Bs going to the hill, that's fairly standard. I don't think we'll see the same level of commitment from CSA on the hill. They seem to be stacking a lot more on the banana area with their 50Bs and WZs and an E3 even.
These 50Bs are
so a lot more of a
hidden.
field to play.
But these 50Bs are completely hidden around the banana line, so there I think CSA is actually preparing for some sneak attack here to push the 8-line cut off the hill and maybe try to flank the guys toward the rail. Yeah,
so we'll have to see the ROIDS reaction on this at the moment. Zaf spotting out Froley here, and they're exchanging shots for no damage at the beginning, but we're actually seeing a big push from CSA. They're going straight down the banana right now. They've got only the bat on the hill, so they've got a lot of HP on this position, and the guys on the 1-2-3 line also need to commit with them. But the problem is there's not a lot of tanks from ROIDS there. They've actually managed to move away, so they need to be very careful that they don't get stuck in a big crossfire. They need to push someone out. That's always very crucial when you go into this position. You can see they've reached it now. They can't really push out Zaf. He's going to be slowly trying to get behind the corner, and ROIDS has actually come down from the hill. They're putting them into a big crossfire, and this is not going very well for CSA right now.
There's a huge chunk of CSA tanks here. If there was advance, there would be an artist strike right now, but it's not happening. There is a lot of crossfire coming from the ROIDS. Advantage in HP is stacking up slowly, but Pavian will die in his I7. In this kind of situation, it is expected for sure. Butchert from CSA will come back to the hill, and Onji will try to do something about Camille, and he does have an HP advantage there. That's for sure. But in this moment, ROIDS do have the momentum, because I think this counterattack from the hill came on time, and they're taking out the tanks that push too much.
Yeah, CSA didn't really have an opportunity to get a few free kills, I guess, as they were looking for, so they only really kind of killed Zaf and Papa, and they didn't get the initial opening that they were looking for when you play such an aggressive push like that. And then ROIDS has actually managed to counter that push in a way where they came down from the hill, they managed to get some shots on the side, took a lot of HP off CSA, and they have a big HP advantage right now, which is really important on Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, also on top of that, Camille actually managed to preserve entire HP he had, and he dropped Unji on one shot, and Super Conqueror is now coming to boost his position plus and 50B. What does that mean in reality for us, guys? It means that now ROIDS can actually do a constant sniping on any tank in really bad position on the middle. You can already see it, like the pumping shots from several sides are coming in.
So Jostra getting pushed out here a little bit, but he's actually holding on even though he's Amoract. I think he should get one more shot off on Sebastian to put him down to a one-shot. But in the meantime, you can't forget that ROIDS has the hill control, and this is very important when CSA is trying to push into a base like this. They're dropping all their HP. They can't really push anything. ROIDS is too solid, they're too well protected, they're too entrenched, and there's no openings right now for CSA.
You could see a moment ago on Stefan from hill how he was saving Jostra on completely other side of the map. On top of that, add up one Super Conqueror. That's really nasty damage every 6 or 7 seconds, and then the rest of the guys playing in cohesion. There is counter push coming through the 2-line in the middle, but this is now mop-up operation. This is not a fight anymore.
Yeah, so ROIDS just showing their experience on this map, I guess. You know, they reacted so well to that banana push. Zaf spotted the whole thing out. He actually reversed and managed to get around the corner and survived very long compared to what he should have been. You know, you'd expect him to be almost dropped instantly when he's being pushed by about 6-7 tanks from CSA on one single position. But he managed to go back, he managed to bait in the push. They had to go into a triple crossfire, which is huge. And it's so hard to decide then, as one of the players of CSA, where do you go for? How do you get everyone coordinated enough to be able to push out the positions you need to push, or do you pull back, or what do you do?